This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
This episode is brought to you by Regret and Bad Choices.
Are you ready?
Starting now?
Well, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. Objects, I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, clearly this is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And we got past the old Fat Man holiday, which you don't participate in,
Right.
anyhow. So I thought about that the other day. I'm like, we didn't have to do anything this year. I mean, I did. I'm sure you saw, but hopefully you did all the AI shit I did with Christmas stuff. It just that made me laugh, as far as posting and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, with the exception of just wishing people a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, blah blah blah. We didn't really have to go into anything, as far as, not that we have to, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Usually at least it's acknowledged that there's a holiday coming up, but yeah, now it's done.
What's our mantra on the whole thing? It's just another day on the calendar.
That it is. And you know what? A week from yesterday, there's another one of them. 2 days. Week from Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting what fucking day it is. Wednesday. Yeah. So there's another one coming up, and that's another, what do they call that? Amateur night, right?
Yes, they do. I certainly do.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. We've talked about that before. No sense in if we want to tell fun stories later, if we got time or want to, we could do that. But yeah, that was the same thing. I was thinking, But I am in a little town in Wisconsin right now, and I'll tell you the name of the town in a minute. But I thought about it because I watched every year for around Christmas. I usually watch both Home Alone movies. I'll watch Christmas Vacation. I watched that last night. I got like 20 minutes left to go, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to watch the rest of it now since it's past. But maybe
I believe so. Yeah, you're fine. Again, day on the calendar.
I'm just fucking around, but usually it's those three movies.
You can watch it in June if you want to.
I know. I've got choices today.
That's right.
But so Home Alone, obviously, Gus. Well, first of all, John Candy's character. Do you know what his last name? Gus, the Kenosha Kickers thing. Do you know?
Jesus, no. I did. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Oh, really? Okay. So, I always thought it was Gus Galinsky.
Yeah.
But it's Polinsky, like P-O-L, Polinsky.
Yeah, okay.
Which makes more sense because, kind of like a Polak thing. But
hey now.
which again,
only I could use that word.
No, I've like an eighth of me.
Okay.
I was just going to say the reason that we're allowed to use that word is because we are part of. I'm a very, very small. It was on Grandpa Jay's side.
Okay.
So he was Russian and Polish. That's how he's so fucking mean.
Yup.
But yeah, well, his dad was fucking Russian, so yeah, his mom was Polish. So
Okay.
anyhow, but yeah, I was thinking about it that it was just kind of funny. When I watched the movie the other day, it's before I booked this trip, but there's I would like to play something from our good friend, not our good friend, but from John Candy. It's
Yes.
from that movie.
Okay.
And if I may, can I?
Please do.
All right, this is only 1 minute, but let's see if we can get the volume here. Ready? Here we go.
Allow me to introduce myself. Gus Polinski. How are you? Polka King of the Midwest. The Kenosha Kickers.
Hi there, how are you?
No? That's okay. I thought you might have recognized. Anyways, I had a few hits a few years ago. That's why, just polka, 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 polka. No? Twin Lakes Polka, Damavuji Polka, a.k.a. Kiss Me Polka, Polka Twist.
Well, these are songs.
Yeah, some fairly big hits for us, in the early 70s, Yeah, we sold about 623 copies of that.
In Chicago?
No, Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan. They loved it.
So that is where I'm at. I am actually in right now, everybody. I am in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Very big in Sheboygan. 600 and some copies.
Yeah, what do you say, 632 or whatever it was. It just kind of, it cracked me up because I didn't think about it. I'm like, oh fuck, I should. It just crossed my mind the other day after I booked the trip, and I'm like, that'd be kind of fun. But the other thing too. So everyone, if you have a minute, take a look at your faucet too, because I'm actually 15 minutes away from Kohler, Wisconsin, which is the manufacturer of kitchen faucets, bathroom faucets. So I'm like within probably for you, Mike, within Parma distance of Kohler. I think it's 15 minutes away or whatever it is. Yeah. So
Fair is my favorite faucet. So
that took me literally 1.2 seconds to figure out. I was about to say I've never heard of a Fair faucet, but then I got it before I had to say anything stupid. I got it. So yeah, she was actually a favorite of mine too. Youngsters, if you don't know who Farrah Fawcett is, fucking shame on you. But look her up.
Yes,
yeah,
right.
Definitely look her up. But
and down.
Yeah. Yeah, there was I had a poster of her. I had a poster of one of the Heathers, I think, in my room. Affair was definitely the one I had, like one of the first ones I got. But I think every young boy in the 70s had a poster like that in their room. So but so anyhow, I'm in Sheboygan. Just came up here. I'm going to hang out with a friend of mine tomorrow, and then get together with my kids for lunch. Kimmy was supposed to. I think I told you that Kimmy was supposed to come down to Indiana over the weekend. Her and Ollie were, and then she ended up checking with her doctor because, just as a quick reminder, everyone, she's like really fucking pregnant right now.
Right.
So she's a few months away from having the second child, and I had nothing to do with it except for producing her, but I get a second grandchild out of it, which is going to be wonderful. But yeah, she had a checkup, and her doctor's like, I want to take that long of a trip.
Right.
So yeah, we're just all going to get together at hang out with at Derek's place. I guess have pizza and do whatever.
Cool.
So yeah,
nice.
All of it worked out well. So I get a bunch of other little shit on here. I tell you? I don't know if I told you since we talked last. I fucking deleted all the other things I had on here, but I got other shit that came up during the week. I've got new shit that I wrote down. Oh, one last quick note: Jeremy's episode last week is doing really, really fucking well.
Good.
So I don't know. We might have to, just for selfish reasons, we might have to have him on again. I mean, not that we want to, of course we would, but
right.
And the difference is between, if you remember the there's plays and then there's streams. So streams, it's still a little bit more in the streams, but not that extreme. But the plays, I mean, this play should be, and I don't know if it's 80% or 90% or more, but his episode literally got like 3 times the amount of plays, so like full listens.
Yeah.
Compared to any normal episode of ours.
All right.
I mean, the streams are about Yeah, they're a little bit more, but again, not as extreme. It's definitely more, but
Mhm.
I don't know. And we got one comment just from some random dude. Kathy said that she really loved them.
Right.
Every clip that I did this week is usually, obviously they're all random ones.
Mhm.
I'm like, that was a great fucking clip. They were all
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
A little bit of you and I popped into a couple of them, but I don't know. So anyhow, Jeremy, if you listen to this, I didn't text him or anything like that or message
Mhm.
him, but your episode is done very well. So yeah, maybe we'll have to have you on again. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, I enjoyed it, so I'm glad other people are too.
Yeah, it was really fucking good, and the fact that he
Yeah.
doesn't listening back to it or listening back to the whole thing and then listening to the clips,
Right.
I would have never guessed that he wasn't that he hadn't done that before.
Mhm.
That he had not just a podcast, but he seemed really, really comfortable
Yeah.
telling that type of a story and didn't seem structured. I know he said he had a bunch of fucking notes, but
that he didn't use.
yeah, which is I was so happy that he said
Yeah,
that. I'm
me
like,
too.
because I can usually tell when people are. Sometimes you hear the paper,
Mhm.
rustling when we've had guests on, but sometimes you can tell when people are going down a list. Which again, it's their own deal,
Yeah.
But I don't know. We try to just keep them on a normal conversation. But anyhow, Jeremy, excellent episode. If
Yes.
folks have not listened to it, it was the episode before this, so episode 200. Definitely listen to it. Listen to other ones too.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, if you get a chance. But Jeremy's episode was beautiful. So
Yes, it was.
all right, but okay. So what do you think? Let's get back to basics here. Let's stop fucking around with Sheboygan and fucking Kenosha Kickers and Jeremy and whatever.
Right. Polacks.
Exactly, Polacks. Yeah, I can say that again. I can say Polak. I can say Russians too. I can
Right.
say I don't know, whatever. I can say Polacks. I know that.
Yes, you can. All right. So I'm assuming you want me to do a reading.
You know what? You can do whatever you want, Mike. I've known you. I've known you long enough that whatever I might want you to do, I don't think it really matters much these days. So
that is true. All right. Yes, I do have a reading, and I suppose we shall get to it.
Good.
All right. It's from Keep It Simple. A couple days ago, read it and went, that one's pretty decent. I'll go ahead and do that. And it almost fits into the season. So what the hell? All right. This was December 23rd from Keep It Simple. Gracious acceptance is an art. We think that we have to learn how to give, but we forget about accepting things, which can be much harder than giving. Accepting another person's gift is allowing them to express his feelings for you. Alexander McCall Smith. I did not look that one up. And I don't know who the fuck it is off the top of my head. So there you go. All right. Many of us took so much from others during our addiction that now we may not want to ask for anything. We may be afraid to ask for help, so our needs go unmet. In fact, many of us would now rather give than receive. In recovery, we need to understand the difference between taking and receiving. Giving to others is important. So is receiving from others. As we grow spiritually, we learn to accept gifts. The gift of sobriety teaches us this. We need to accept the gifts the world gives us without shame. We are entitled. Our higher power loves us and will give us as much as we're willing to receive. Prayer for the day. Higher power, help me to be receptive to your gifts. Help me to see and believe that I'm entitled to all the happiness of the world. Action for the day, those pesky actions. I'll think of what a friend has given me. I'll thank this friend.
All right. I think. Well, I mean, I do remember that one because I think I might have either I posted that or I wrote something down about it. But I guess if I wrote something down, maybe we'll find out. We'll find out either this week or a few weeks from now, whenever we read shit again, and we're like, didn't we just talk about that? We'll get into that fucking bullshit again. But
right.
Okay, so that the action line again. Think about a gift that was given to us by a friend.
Yeah, I'll think of what a friend has given me. I'll thank this friend.
Well, and I mean that's an easy one, but I mean, I hope. I guess. Maybe let me step back. These days, it should be an easy thing for us to say thank you, and I think we talked about that
Right.
in one of the readings a couple of weeks ago. But certainly not in our nature. But I think easier these days. But
Right.
there was quite a few things that I wrote down, but I like the term, and I don't know that I really focused in on it when I read it, but gracious acceptance. What is that? What do you think of that? I mean, literally that, I don't know. I just thought that was, I like it, but I mean, what do you
Right.
think of that as a term or concept?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Again, like it talked about being takers and all that stuff. Graciously accepting, not expecting it, not, you know, being grateful, and having some grace and some yes, being truly appreciative of what someone else is willing to give to you, whether it's time or energy or whatever the fuck, man. Um don't I it uses the word entitled a couple of times, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
like.
I wrote that down.
Uh-huh. But yes, but exactly. Being again kind and allowing other people to do for you because it's helping them be better people too.
Right. And I did write that down too, allowing others to give,
Mhm.
because and we had talked about that. It's been a while ago,
Right.
and I know that it's something. Shit, it could have been a year ago. You might have done
Mhm.
this reading last year. We talked about it, or it
Right.
came up, maybe whatever. We've talked
Mhm.
about this
Sure.
concept before, but I think it's
Right.
a good one
Well, there's
because
only 4 concepts, so, right.
right. There's 5 topics, only 4 concepts. So
Yes.
whatever. You guys are going to hear the same fucking things all the time.
Yeah,
We've established that.
right.
That's why we got to have Jeremy on every once in a while to,
Mhm.
to get us off into a different direction. But the whole idea behind it of again being gracious, allowing others to do it, and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
If we aren't allowing others to give, and we aren't allowing others to appreciate things, and I don't know if we talked about it this way last time, but it just made me think about that.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's extremely selfish.
Oh, yeah.
Of us being like, you don't have to do this and whatever. I don't need anything, blah, blah, blah. And making a big deal out of it is fucking selfish, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, not allowing people to do things for you. I mean, we know the feeling when we do something for somebody else and how it makes us feel good. That's why we continue to do it selfishly. Uh, right. That we've learned in this program. Doing for others makes us feel good. And yeah, we're still selfish and self-centered and we want to feel good. So we do things for others. But we have to allow others to do that for us too. Yeah, it is. Like you said, totally selfish to not let somebody else do that for us.
Deck your home with Blinds.com. DIY or let us install. Free design consultation. Plus free samples and free shipping.
Head to Blinds.com now for up to 45% off with minimum purchase plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Well, and it made me think about a couple of things recently. Well, even with, I mean, like I always tell my kids, Christmas and birthdays and Father's Days or whatever. I'm like, I don't need anything. What I
Right.
want time with you guys. That's it.
Mhm.
But when I'm given a gift by either of them, either of my kids, I mean,
Right.
it's heartfelt. It's because they wanted to, and
Mhm.
every once in a while they've even said, "I know you said you don't want anything." I'm like, no, I don't mean it that way. I'm just telling you, I don't need anything.
Mhm.
But if you guys choose to get me something, I don't want to take away from that. I always
Yeah.
appreciate it, and it means something because it's not just okay, just because it's this particular, like we were just talking about in the beginning,
Mhm.
just because it's this day on the calendar.
Right.
Well, here's a gift. It's not like that, and I don't want it to be like that. I don't need to
Mhm.
be. I don't need that.
Mhm.
But when they do something like that for me, I really do. I really appreciate it. And like what Kimmy's done since my grandson's been around, is a lot of times it's things that he's made or they've made together, and I mean that shit
Mhm.
means a fucking whole lot, you
Right.
know. So I mean, truly appreciate it.
Mhm.
And yesterday, and I know Kathy does it all the time. Kathy and I, with Kathy and Kylie, what I do for gifts is it's basically I ask Kylie every year, usually when we're sitting down on Christmas Day, you still
Mhm.
do Apple gift cards? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll send you one later.
Right.
That's what we do with our gifts. She
Mhm.
got me this book, this dictionary of sarcasm.
I saw that.
Did you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I was gonna post it separately, but I'll like when I have more time and when I kind of dig into it, I will. But
Mhm.
I need to bring it on here. We fuck around with it every once in a
Right.
while if we got nothing better to do. But I mean, that was number one. She didn't need to get me anything, but
Mm.
saw it and she's like, as soon
Yeah.
as I saw it, I knew I had to get it
Right.
for you. That means
Right.
a lot, you know? And
Absolutely.
then Kathy always does stockings, you know, and
Mhm.
she includes it for me. It's candy, it's whatever. She used to get me Domino's gift cards. Now she'll get me a gift card for Airbnb.
Mm.
She bought me a thing of chapstick, which is I'm like chapstick. She's like, well, you know, it's stocking stuff. It's weird things. I'm like, no. I said it's really fucking weird, but I said it's really fucking useful.
Right.
You know, I'm not down, downplaying it. I'm like, I never would have expected to get a thing of chapstick
Mhm.
in a stocking because
Right.
I know she does it. I don't expect it, but I know she does it, and
Mhm.
she likes doing shit like that.
Right.
But again, she literally thought of me, knows I use chapstick, and got me chapstick.
Mhm.
That may seem fucking weird, but that
Nah.
means something to me because
Right.
it's specific, you know.
Yeah. Right.
And then same thing with her and this last procedure.
Mhm.
When she was talking about wanting to come down, and I don't remember if I mentioned it on here. I
Mm.
told her, I said, you know what, it's not necessary. You don't have to
Mm.
come down. And she's like, well, whatever, I like to, whatever. And then
Uh-huh.
I said, we'll figure it out. And that was obviously after the first one, whatever.
Yeah.
So at whatever point, I said, just so you know, I said, I really appreciate the offer. And I said, absolutely. You want to come down, you want to hang out,
Mhm.
by all means. And she's like, well, I don't want to interfere on your space.
All right.
And I said, I'm like, I didn't, she's like, no, I guess I don't mean it that way. And I said, it's okay. However it just came out is, I said, I didn't want to make you feel that way. I said, here's what I don't
Mhm.
want to do. I
Mhm.
said, I don't want to take away the fact that you want to do something like that.
Right.
Okay. What I
Mhm.
was trying to let you know to begin with is I said it's not critical, it's not necessary, but
Right.
it's appreciated.
Absolutely.
And the fact that you're going to be there, you don't need to stay long. I'm going to be fine. I know that.
Mhm.
But one way or the other, it was nice, and I appreciated the effort that she put in to do it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I mean, those are just kind of like three examples, recent ones. But it's hard. It's the immediate thing. I don't need the help. It's unnecessary. I don't need a
Mhm.
gift.
Right.
Those are my defaults. But then everything on here, we've got to allow others. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Again, we learn over time, but it's again after all these years,
Mhm.
it's still within me, and it's not that I'm not afraid to ask for help because I
Sure.
wrote that down.
Mhm.
If I need help these days, I mean, I've learned that I'll ask for it. And I
Uh-huh.
guess maybe that's a good question. When do you think you got over that? Whether or not it was being afraid of, if nothing
Mm.
else, the hesitation to ask for help from
Right.
maybe somebody outside of AA or the program.
Mhm. Um, Still kind of working on that one. Yeah, again, well, like we always talk about balance. I mean, it is that balance, I was such a huge taker and so entitled for so long that I'm still working on that balance of, do this for me, or no, I will do it myself, or okay, let's do this thing together because it's going to, make it easier for me and it's going to allow you to help me. Still
Right.
working on it. Yeah, clearly I am better. The original question was, when did I, stop being afraid to ask for help? Well, that was, when I started deflating my ego a little bit.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Again, the flip side of how I am now is how I used to be. I expected you to do everything for me. and shit, and and didn't want to do anything myself, and certainly didn't want to give back. Yeah, so it's again, I'm working on it. It's still finding that balance, but it's a hell of a lot more balanced than it used to be.
Right. Yeah, and that's it. If nothing else, because I just gave you 3 examples where
Mm-hmm.
it was, I don't know, necessarily old behavior, but these things that are ingrained in me haven't gone away. But it's the same thing. It's character defects. I mean, we
Yeah.
recognize it. It even saying that, and I realized what I said to Kathy about the whole procedure thing.
Right.
After the fact, and I didn't mean it anyway, but I realized how it came out, and I
Mhm.
know for a fact because of what she said. She's like, "I want to invade on your space." I'm like, "Oh fuck,
Right.
I didn't mean that,"
Mhm.
not at all. But it is. It sometimes it's kind of like, I'm good, man. I'm
Yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Things are fine. I know how to do this. I'll get it done. But
Mhm.
when I need help, I'm not afraid or hesitant to ask for it. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get it done myself first.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can fucking figure it out.
Mhm.
And sometimes I just can't. And I'm at my
Yeah.
wherever my wits end are. I'm right there. Or whatever wits end are,
Mhm.
I'm right there. But yeah, so the whole entitled thing, and I wrote down entitled to gifts, and then it said later entitled to happiness. It might have said it one other time too.
Mhm.
I think we've been pretty clear about the word entitled before, and
Yes.
you've brought it up twice in tonight's conversation. So, but
Mhm.
just for the people in the back that might not have heard it the first time, how do you feel about the word entitled, Mike?
I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Again, because I spent the first 42 years of my life very fucking entitled. This world owed me fucking everything. And that was a huge thing I needed to unlearn and not be that way anymore. So yes, I understand the meaning of the reading. Yes, we are entitled to happiness. We don't deserve to be miserable, blah blah blah. I understand all that. But I personally have to be very careful with even the thought of any sort of entitlement.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I think a better way to put it is that we end up receiving gifts,
Mhm.
and not necessarily entitled, but like we talked about. I mean, the simplest one is that happiness is a byproduct of,
Right.
and name the thing that we talked
Yeah.
about, and
Right.
the same thing with somebody actually wanting to buy us a gift or
Mhm.
give us something or do something for us
Mhm.
is a byproduct of how we fucking act,
Yep.
and how we've changed. And do we deserve it? I don't know.
Yeah.
We get it because of who we are now versus
Right.
who we weren't, or
Right.
who we were, before was just
Right.
a couple of fucking a-holes. Well,
Yep.
no, still a-holes, but just,
Right.
a little bit more
Smaller
social.
ones.
Yes.
Smaller and cleaner.
Are we bleached a-holes?
Mm.
I think I'm gonna just try to skip over that. So anyhow,
All right.
the only other thing that I wrote down, but I think we already talked about it, was taking versus receiving, which
Mhm.
it is. I mean, it's a minor distinction, but it's one that I think both of us, all of us. Well, let's just talk about the two of us. I think that
Yeah.
both of us can agree that we need to be very aware that we're not taking something that if
Mhm.
somebody's receiving, we're looking at it as a gift rather than something we're taking, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. A gift rather than something we're stealing. Yes.
Yeah.
Something that someone's willingly giving to us.
Yeah, yeah, or something that we're entitled to.
Mhm.
But yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Gosh darn it, Mike, I like that one.
Yeah.
That was a good reading. That was
That
a
was all
humdinger.
right. Yep.
So
Ding that home.
anything else that jumped out at you, stood out at you,
Whatever. I think we covered it.
Yeah, you know what I meant. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
meant
do.
to use. Okay. So let's see. So we talked about, obviously. Oh, you know what? I gotta. There was a. You want to hear a holiday story? It has nothing to do with me. It was just the radio station I listened to. This just makes me laugh. I've heard this years ago, but
Mhm.
this was shit. They were doing the guys from the morning show were out this week. So Monday and Tuesday they did technically it's their year review year so far, whatever the fuck they do. But
Mhm.
though they've done around Christmas time, they do these holiday horror stories. They'll
Okay.
have obviously listeners send in stories of holidays and shit that went wrong and blah blah blah, and they're fucking hilarious. Some of them are just, I mean, they're they're like jaw dropping, kind of like this one.
Uh-huh.
But they're a lot of fun. So this one was actually back from, they replayed it. The Eric, the producer, replayed it from, God, I think 2014.
Uh-huh.
I was fucking laughing, but also just like, oh my God, I completely forgot about this. But I'm doing a lot of this. Well, all of it's pretty much from memory, but I want to tell you this story. So first of all, this guy writes in, it was a guy that wrote in, and he started it
Dear
off.
Casey.
it was kind of like that, But he said, so first of all, he's one of, he was one of 8 kids.
Mhm.
And he was talking about his mom. He goes, we used to go over to, always went over to our mom's for Christmas. And he said, as a side note, I wrote this one down right away. My mom is the most vile and horrible person in the world. So that's how the story starts out. Okay.
Mhm.
So again, he's one of 8 kids. I don't know what the mix was between boys and girls. Doesn't matter. So the year that they were talking about, this would have been Christmas of 2000. Well, it was Red in 14, whatever it was, maybe a year before. But the dad had just passed away that year at some point, whether it was a month or two prior, but before that Christmas. So mom was still, let me say their mom. I don't want anyone to think that this was our
Right.
mom. This was not our mom.
Right.
Not. So their mom was still going to host Christmas, and everyone's going over there begrudgingly because she is, let me repeat that, the most vile and horrible person in the world.
Mhm.
So they all show up, and he also says that their mom likes playing the victim. It's always this and that and blah blah blah. And I mean, one of the things, like somebody walks in and she's like, she'll say something to one of the wives of one of the kids and say, you're actually you're the least attractive, spouse of any of my children, type of thing.
Wow.
But I mean, always playing the victim on whatever, pour me this, pour me that, blah, 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 blah. So everyone's there with their significant others, do the dinner, the whole bit. And then I guess after dinner, the mom says, okay, I need to meet with, or have a conversation with all my kids. So everyone else needs to get the hell out of the room. Just me and my kids. So again, father just died.
Mhm.
Mom's at the head of the table. All the kids are sitting around the table, all adult children, of course.
Right.
So she goes, first of all, your father was a horrible human being. He treated me like garbage for years. And then the guy says, side note, my father was one of the most wonderful human beings ever. Did everything for her, was treated like shit by her for years and years, and blah, blah, blah. And all she ever wanted, again, speaking of entitled, blah, blah, blah. So clearly that wasn't the case. But so then the mom goes on and she said he was so evil to me and so mean to me. She said I did everything, or no, she said he forced me into the arms of many men over the years. So she's having this conversation with the kids, okay? And all the kids are like, kind of wide-eyed and, jaws dropping or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then she says, on top of that, she said, none of you are his kids. She said, I made sure of it. And then there was envelopes on the table with all their names on it. She said, inside each envelope is the name of your father. And she's like, blah, 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 Merry Christmas, and walks out of the room.
Wow.
So all of them are just like, whatever, they're opening up the thing, and there's like 3 or 4 names on each list. So apparently she didn't even know who she fucked, that might have been their father, whatever. So I guess over the next couple of weeks, all the kids went and they got DNA tests, and sure as shit, none of them.
Wow.
None of them matched. So again, to go back to, my mom's the most vile and horrible person in the world. I'm fucking laughing, but I'm like, could you even fucking imagine? So she literally 8 kids went out of her way to fuck people and have kids that weren't fathered by her husband. I'm like, that's beyond. I can't even. I don't even know. Don't even know what to say. So
that is some fucked up shit.
So anyhow, Merry Christmas, everyone. All right, so let's get on to a different one. And this was a quote, actually, and I was listening to. There's a couple of like notes on a Joe Rogan podcast, but this one, he was talking to somebody about whatever. I don't even remember who his guest was, but they brought up a quote from Mike Tyson's trainer, like his trainer back in the day. And I don't know who the guy was. I didn't write down his name or whatever, but he ended up reading the quote, and then I looked it up, and I thought this was kind of interesting because it talked about fear. So
Yeah.
obviously something we talk about. So his trainer had said, fear is like fire. If you can control it, it can cook for you and it can heat your house. If you can't control it, it will burn down everything around you and destroy you. So what do you think about that?
I think that's pretty fucking good, actually.
I'm gonna read it again because I fucking loved it, and I was hoping you'd see the same kind of, I don't know what you want to call genius in it, but I did. So fear is like fire. If you can control it, it'll cook for you and it can heat your house. If you can't control it, it will burn everything around you and destroy you.
Yeah.
Because what they were talking about was, I think they were talking about Joe Rogan does jiu-jitsu, he's done martial arts and blah 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 and whatever. They got into some comment or conversation about fear, saying that I guess he for years was fearful when he went into the ring, and that gave him a little bit of an edge.
Right.
And then he got confident where he wasn't afraid anymore, and it fucked him up because he had nothing. He lost his edge, And then that's how he brought up Tyson. He goes, Mike Tyson. He goes, think about this. He goes, nobody would ever think that motherfucker was afraid. But he said he admitted that he was scared every time he got into the ring.
Right.
Whether it was the unknown, whatever it was, but he came in with that like kind of an edge type of thing. But then, this is where the quote from the trainer came up. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting because clearly the topic of fear comes up all the fucking time.
Right.
And we've come to I realize that fear's at the base of everything in my goddamn life.
Right.
But I mean, literally, do you think is fear something? The only thing I had, I guess, a question on was, do you think we can actually control the fear? I mean, I get it, cooking and heating the house, but is the word control the right way to put that?
Yeah, absolutely. Manage may be a better word, but
right. Okay.
Yeah, the big book says, we're driven by 1,000 forms of fear.
Right.
Yeah. So clearly it's a big part of our makeup, us alcoholics and addicts. Yeah, but we've also, we've talked on here about healthy fear, and I mean, clearly, the fear of going back out, keeps us doing what we need to do so that we don't. That's it. That's controlling the fear. That's managing the fear, which I think I do like better than control.
I do too.
Because we have control is kind of like entitlement. It's a word that we don't particularly find useful. But yeah, manage, and use it in the right way. Clearly fear is always going to be a part of us. But what do we do with it, and where do we apply it so that it can be useful? Like cooking our food, heating our house, whatever, lighting our way through whatever fucking world we're in. Fire, is it a torch or is it fucking every tree around us burning?
Right.
Yeah, so that is managing the fire, managing the fear. Yeah, shit, I like that a lot.
Yeah, and it's changing just the word manage doesn't change the power of that quote, because if you read it as fear is like fire, if you can manage it, it can cook for you, heat your house, blah blah blah.
Right.
If you can't manage it, it will burn everything around you and destroy you. So it doesn't take away from, I don't think it takes away from the power of that at all. And to your point, that's the only, I didn't like the control part.
Right.
I didn't like the word. The concept, everything else was fine with it, but I wasn't even thinking of another word necessarily to replace it. But I like the word manage. But yeah, that was a great quote. And whatever, I can't think of the dude's name. It doesn't matter. I had to look it up. Rogan cut it a little bit. He didn't have it completely. He had the 90% of the gist of it. But I wanted to get the exact quote, so I looked it up. But I just saw it. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I really,
it is.
I really like it. So, anyone, if you want to look it up to get the exact quote, just literally all I did a search for Mike Tyson's trainer and fear quote, and I think I got it right away. So it's apparently a popular quote that I've never fucking heard before.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Yeah. So anyhow, You're welcome, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, Mike
Um,
Tyson's trainer
Yeah, exactly. Whoever the hell you are.
and lunkhead Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So I'll talk if we get time. I'll tell you a couple of things from. I'm telling you, I am enjoying. I enjoy that. I enjoy everything I've said before.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 20. I don't even know 2,400, 2,500
Sure.
episodes, and 9 times out, like I listened to Ethan Hawke the other day. That was one of
Mhm.
his newer ones,
Right.
and Ethan Hawke is kind of a fucking brainiac, and I had no idea.
Hmm.
It was interesting. I mean, they were like, it was this whole almost like a philosophical conversation back and forth, but also talked
Mhm.
about real shit, but
Right.
just interesting. But I mean, I could flip back, I could go from episode 2,400 down to like 2,200 until I find somebody I want to listen to.
Right.
So he's got random people on there. Either I don't know the names or I'm like, oh, let's listen to this fucker.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. But
Right.
the ones that I have listened to, I've gotten something out of it. So
Cool.
that is what it is. But all right. So there was and speaking of the fear thing, there was another thing I wrote down. I don't remember. I guess I don't even have this from a reading. I don't know. So there was a string. Oh, there was a string of readings lately. About faith and specifically faith over fear.
Mhm.
How did you learn to deal with fear, and how did faith win out? So to begin with, and I mean, kind of along the same lines as what we realize that fear is there. But back to the beginning, that was kind of my point. It brought me back. There was so many readings about this. It made
Mhm.
me think about, again, the beginning, the early days and things like that. And I mean, fuck, I didn't really realize that fear was such a big part of my life until, like, what, a year ago, 2 years ago?
Right.
So how did you learn to deal with that fear, either immediately or over time? And where did you get to the point where you think that faith, I don't know if win out is the right word, where,
Mhm.
again, faith over fear type of thing.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, examples. I mean, doing inventories and truly looking at, myself and whatever, being, shit that I'm scared of, and then learning to face up to it and walk through it. And,
Right.
time and time again, walking through that fear, getting to the other side of it and going, well, that was fucking, I overblew that, built it way too much in my head. Again, the example of it over and over again, walking through that fear, getting to the other side and going, well, fuck, that wasn't that bad.
Right.
So yeah, that's, kind of the practical thing. Yeah, and just learning to trust and learning to, people telling, over and over, hey man, it's not that bad. It's going to be okay. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do and it's going to be all right. Well, fuck, I guess. Hey, thanks for not lying to me.
Yeah, and that's maybe that is exactly what it. Well, I'm not even maybe. I think that is exactly what it takes. I mean, people can say, "Don't worry, it'll be okay, kid. Everything's gonna be fine."
Right.
Put the arm around you, and it'll be good. You'll be okay, and follow me, all those sort of things. But until you see it work, or until you see that something bad did not happen, or even better, that not only did something not bad happen, but something good happened.
Right.
And I almost said gooder. Gooder than you thought it might be.
Right.
But I mean, like we talked about that before, that not only does it turn out to be better, but
Mhm.
I mean, at least 8 out of 10 times, it's better than we thought it might be.
Yeah.
So I mean, once you get that experience, or those examples, like you said,
Right.
of walking through it, it does. I mean, having that faith, faith tends to win out. It was funny too. Yesterday, Kathy's friend Shelly was over for Christmas, and I know you've met Shelly before.
Sure.
But she had told, because she was there for Thanksgiving too, and
Yeah.
Kathy had. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you were there.
I was there.
Yeah, this year. Oh yeah, Mike. Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah. A month ago.
Right. So, well, Kathy had brought up about my procedure or whatever, so she knew about it, and she knew I was going in for the other one, so she had asked me, she's like, "How's everything going?" I'm like, "Oh, it's good." Kathy came down, we were telling that whole story, and then, she said it had to be so nice having somebody there, and I said it was, like,
Yeah.
same thing you and I were just talking about.
Right.
And I said it was, funny though, I was fine and blah, 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 and whatever. But somehow it came up. She's like, it had to be so much different the first time. She said, two things. She said, being there by yourself. And she goes, you had to be just really scared. And I said, you know what? I wasn't. She said, why not? And I said, well, here's the thing. I said, the only time that I was nerve wracked a little bit and unsure and anxious, maybe on the verge of being scared is before they fucking told me what they were going to do. You know, I had this, this fucking weird ass ER doctor, and everyone's doing this, and everyone's this flurry of activity, and nobody's telling me. Everybody just wants to know my fucking story. Tell me what's going to be done and when.
Yeah.
And I said, once I found that out, I said, I literally cannot deal with the unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't physically, mentally, I can't deal with it, but I mean, I can't deal with it. There's nothing I can do with what I don't know.
Right.
Once I know, even if it's fucking horrible, at least I know what it is, and I can put a plan in place of how to deal with it.
Yep.
And I'm like, the procedure, I'm like, I not that I ever researched the goddamn thing, but I've heard enough. And I said, even open heart surgery, and it's more of a commonplace thing. So I said I wasn't worried about that.
Right.
But it was the unknown that was fucking me up,
Yeah.
But I mean, beyond that, I mean, yeah, it was a little creepy. Like I said on here, being wheeled into that first, operating room, and it's just, it's like a horror movie. It's just fucking clean, and it's white, and it's silver, and you're like, meh. But I wasn't scared. It was just unnerving.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, I've learned over time that I just tell me what the fuck the deal is. I can handle it. If it's, I don't care if it's, well, of course, everyone cares if it's bad,
Right.
It's not that I don't care that it's not bad, but even if it's something bad, I need to know. Just fucking tell me.
Yeah.
Fucking tell me. That's the only way I can process, and then I can make a plan. If you, I can't be just willy nilly out in the fucking whim of whatever. I gotta know. That's all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Let me know what the fuck's going on so I can deal with it. How I have to deal with it. Exactly.
But I like the way you said it. I mean, seriously, when you had said, once you walk through these things, a couple of times, and of course, thank you for that line to me. That's fucking great. To everyone that's come before us, and yeah, I mean, nobody's lied to us. Nobody's out there going, hey, kid, it's going to get better, and then we're all fucked. At year 7, the fucking bottom drops out. You didn't fucking tell me that. Oh yeah, we forgot. But no, nobody's lied, and everyone's we've heard plenty of stories, but yeah, and it's I think that's a great way to put it though. But I do like that once you've walked through this stuff a couple of times, even if it's not the same exact circumstance, at least you got a little bit of a base in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's again, 5 subjects, and right. There's always so many different configurations of all this nonsense, and it's all about the same.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So I think it's probably a good time for a break. And then do you want to talk about Rob Reiner at all?
We could do that.
Okay, because I wrote some. I've got some thoughts,
and
I'm sure you do too. And
sure.
But anyway, we don't have to bring it all up. And I wrote it down. So, but just figured that obviously it's going to be more than a 5-minute conversation. So probably a wonderful time to maybe take a break. What do you think?
I think so. All right. Well, we'll be back with more Sober Not Mature right after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, Mike, I have a question for you.
All right. I may have an answer for you.
So if you're one of our fine listeners and you wanted to know a little bit more about the podcast, more than just listening to us ramble, where would you go as a listener? What do you think you'd do?
I believe you would go to SoberNotMature.com.
Ding. Okay, good. Now, next question is, what if you've been, I don't know, seeing us on social media, you've seen our t-shirts, you've seen some of the pictures we posted, and the person's like, you know what, I want to be cool like those guys and get a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Where would they go for that? I know this is a tougher question, but where would they go for that one?
They would go to SoberNotMature.com.
They could do that. Yes, you're right. Because once you're on SoberNotMature.com, they can hit the store link and go to our second website, which is SoberNotMatureShop.com.
See, I was going to say store. I'd have screwed it up.
You know what the thing of it is you got it right the first time. Everything people want is at, go ahead with the first website.
SoberNotMature.com.
And if you mess around on there, you're going to see everything we have. Obviously, we have our merchandise. See a little bit about us, a little bit about our background. We posted some other things on there, but I don't know. You can even sign up for our email list. And here's the good thing. We barely email anyone ever, so you're not going to get spammed.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That would be like effort on our part, and that's not going to happen.
Right. I have never used our mailing list yet. I may at some point, but that would take structure and discipline, which I don't think either one of us have, do we?
I know I don't.
All right. So just to wrap up here, to visit our main website and get to everything that is us, where would they go, Mike?
SoberNotMature.com.
Visit that today, right?
Right.
Okay, I think we're done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's on to Meathead.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be hard. I think it'd be hard pressed to. I can't say that everyone, knows who Rob or knew who Rob Reiner was, but is there anyone out there that doesn't know about what fucking happened to Rob Reiner?
Right. And is there anybody out there that hasn't seen one of his movies or whatever? Right. Exactly. I mean, he did so much, and so much of it was really fucking good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and even like after the fact when they were talking about the movies, and once again, if somebody says that, who's your, I don't know, it's name your favorite director. I mean, there's obviously there's Rob Reiner, there's Ron Howard, there's Scorsese, of course. I mean, there's Spielberg, there's all these fucking people out there. And then it just some of these movies. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I know all the Martin Scorsese movies, but I mean, when one's brought up, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, that was a Scorsese movie,
right?
Or that anything like that, or I remember that Ron Howard did this one or that one or that one. But you start watching some of these things, I'm like, like somebody brought up on it's either on the radio or on one of the podcasts I was listening to, that Misery was Rob Reiner, and I'm like, I didn't fucking remember that. I know the movie. It's fucking wonderful. It's great.
Of course. Yeah.
But I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then it always cracked me up that, I mean, again, if you don't know, I mean, if somebody might, hopefully would know now after all the shit that happened, but go back and watch, All in the Family. I mean, he was a fucking, literally his nickname from Archie Bunker was, fucking Meathead, it was his son-in-law. He called him fucking Meathead.
Yep.
Which, I mean, Mike and I, we grew up watching a goddamn TV show, and then this guy becomes, this fucking infamous, director, and then, God, is this ungodly death. But like you said, I mean, just he did so much and things that I just didn't. Again, a lot of it I didn't remember and I didn't realize, but I knew the magnitude of who he was as an individual and a director. That much clearly I knew.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, he came, Nepo baby. I mean, his dad was Carl Reiner, his buddy's best friends with Mel Brooks, and I mean, just huge legacy of comedy in that family. Yeah, which is so fucked up that it ended so tragic.
Right. Yeah, and the thing of it is, and I'll be honest, when I heard, because this is the headline. I don't know if you read the early headline before it was obviously let or made public, but it's like 2 people found dead at movie mogul Rob Reiner's home, and a 78-year-old male and a 70-year-old female. And immediately I looked up the, how old's Rob Reiner? 70. I'm like, fuck. How old's his wife? 70. Fuck.
Yep.
So what my first thought was Phil Hartman's situation. I'm like, I don't know who his fucking wife is, but I'm like, she fucking went nuts. She fucking killed herself as a murder suicide again.
Right.
And it's terrible to think that, but that's what I thought. I never thought that, either it was a random type of thing, or I mean, God forbid, it was one of his fucking kids, which I don't even know that I knew. I'm pretty sure I didn't know anything about his son.
Right.
I don't think I knew anything about his son.
Yeah, me neither.
So I don't know. I mean, there was the couple of things that came up. Well, first of all, I mean, I guess over time, I mean, he was clearly one of us, not a treated necessarily one of us, or at least not. I don't think currently a treated one of us. He was
Right.
treated, but in a different way. But I mean, I guess in and out of rehabs,
Yep.
alcohol and drug abuse. Basically, from what I understand, bits and pieces, is that they kept trying to do everything they could to keep him
Sure.
out of trouble. There was that movie that Rob Reiner did, and I can't remember the name of it with him.
Something about Charlie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might have been something might have been about Charlie or something. Yeah,
Yeah. I know Charlie's in the title, but yeah, right.
but it was kind
which
of
I'd actually never heard of the movie, and I kind of don't want to watch it now,
right.
And from what I did read some about it and whatever, and it's your basic Hollywood version of what we are, which is never right. So
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Shit. And clearly mental illness. It wasn't just substance abuse and whatever, being an alcoholic or a drug addict. There was more, as there is with a lot of us. A lot of times, the alcoholism and drug abuse comes from trying to self-medicate your fucked up head. Which I could certainly relate to on some levels, but not that level, thankfully. It's horrible.
So there was and I forgot that I let's save this article, but let's see, and it's giving me a fucking redirect.
Of course.
So this was just again random thing that popped up that I saw after. I wrote down a couple other things I want to kind of touch on, but so he was apparently diagnosed with, this is Nick Reiner, Rob Reiner's son, diagnosed with schizophrenia before his parents' murders.
Right.
Mostly found revealed that Nick was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and in the weeks before his parents' murders, there was a change in his medications that he was taking, which had allegedly made him more erratic and dangerous. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Sources told TMC Nick had been under the care of psychiatrist, blah, blah. Month murders, behavior reportedly changed for the worse. Outlet claimed that the doctors were working to adjust medications, but did not receive the results they were looking for. So he had dealt with addiction from a young teen, 22, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, Being Charlie is the name of the movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Something about Mary, something about Charlie. Yeah,
something about Charlie, right.
Yes, it's the same goddamn thing. But so that was number one. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, really? He's diagnosed with schizophrenia. The medicine's not fucking working.
Right.
Why is this?
Yeah.
Why is he out on the fucking streets?
Right. Yeah.
Well,
speculation purely on my part, but they can handle it. They will take care of it.
Right.
Yeah. Again, not asking for help, ego, and, it's just because you're not one of us doesn't mean you don't suffer from those sort of things.
Right.
I would imagine they went, well, we'll just keep working on it until it gets better. And sometimes it doesn't.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Part of me is just like, that I would think these days, and I don't know, thankfully, and I think I can speak for you on this, because unless you're a closet medicated guy over there, but,
no.
Neither one of us have had to deal with
right.
Mental health issues to the point of having medication.
Sure.
I think everyone has mental health issues. I think everyone's affected in one way, shape, or form by life or whatever.
Sure.
We've had endless conversations about what we think about trauma, and if nothing else, we don't. And just to make this clear for everyone, we don't think that anything that happened in our lives, quote unquote, trauma based, made us who we are as far as alcoholics or whatever.
Right.
Neither one of us agree with that statement. And personally, I hate the fact that it seems like not everyone, a large percentage of the addicted or drinking or using society these days, everyone's looking for some place to point it to.
Right.
And I don't think it needs to be pointed to. It just needs to
Mhm.
be fucking dealt with. And
Yes.
who gives a fuck what got you there?
Yeah.
Fucking fix it. There's
Uh-huh.
solutions out there, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So, but these days, when it comes to mental health issues,
Mhm.
I thought, or I would have thought, especially at that level, I mean, at that income
Mhm.
level and that
Sure.
exposure level, of that prominent of a family,
Yep.
that that's when they put them in, again, some fucking resort rehab,
Mhm.
not rehab, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
a
Right.
resort clinic,
Yeah.
and get him or her, whoever they may be, in a safe place, and
Yeah.
until they get the medicine straightened out.
Mhm.
I just don't that I don't understand. I don't know that that'll ever be answered, but maybe it will
Right.
be.
Mhm.
But the other thing was, now that, I mean, clearly it was the fight at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party.
Mhm.
Okay, so had you ever heard of Conan's party before?
No.
The only reason I have is because I've listened to Conan's podcast and a
Mhm.
handful of others, where people talk about that, and
Okay.
sometimes jokingly, it's like, "Oh, you're invited to Conan's? I was invited to Conan's." This and that.
Mhm.
So they the Hollywood, usually the comedians and shit like that,
Right.
they're fucking with their friends that their friend didn't get invited,
Uh-huh.
because apparently it is the party of the year, and
Okay.
it's a Christmas party to be at. And I guess Conan puts on this big fucking thing, and he's done it for fucking ever,
Right.
Um, and it just sounds, it's kind of a Hollywood elite,
Mhm.
big deal, and everyone
Right.
gets together and blah blah blah. So from what I heard and from what I read,
Mhm.
is that obviously somehow, and I still haven't heard how fucking Nick Reiner got in, or whether he was invited or whatever the deal was, but clearly he was there.
Right. Well,
Um,
no, from what I heard is they took him along because they didn't want to leave him at home.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so they brought him along. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hadn't heard that, because I'm like, did he just show up?
Mm.
So well,
No.
that kind of
Yeah.
clears that part up. Okay,
Yeah.
understood. And then, I mean, it's not, well, given that, then there was probably some sort of fight that carried over, because there
Mhm.
was a huge screaming fight, blah 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 blah
Right.
blah. And I get, well, two things. So Bill Hader the comedian gets
Mhm.
drawn into this,
Mhm.
because apparently Nick rolled up to him, and he's having
Yeah.
he's having a conversation with somebody,
Uh-huh.
and he just says, listen, dude, it's a private conversation, gotta
Right.
be gone with you, type of thing.
Yeah.
Which, no, I heard again other people talking about this. They're like, why is Bill Hader being even brought into a conversation? So
Mm.
what? This fucking lunatic could have went up to anyone.
Yeah.
So why does Bill Hader now, for the rest of his fucking life, have to be associated with Rob Reiner's death?
Mhm.
Because that's what it is. It's going to be, it's a nothing else as a cliff note to
Yeah.
to the whole thing. And then the thing that really kind of threw me off, and I'm sure there's got to be I'm sure they questioned Conan to this point, and anyone else around there, but
Uh-huh.
supposedly Conan we're telling people, you do not call the cops.
Right.
And if that's the case, that's a problem.
Mhm.
I mean, wouldn't you think? I mean, if somebody's going fucking nuts like that,
Right.
and
Well, again, the parents probably going, "We've got this. We'll handle it." I'm sorry. We'll take care of it. And yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense from any standpoint, right?
right.
Rob Reiner is saying he'll handle it. Okay, we'll let him handle it then.
Yeah, so then Conan's up saying that nobody call, it's
Mhm.
handled, but
Right.
maybe it's because the way it came down, and that would make, if it turns out to be that would make more sense
Mhm.
than, because I mean, if it's just Conan being like, I don't want my party fucked up,
Right.
because the cops come here and they're questioning 200 or 300 people, and then the fucking
Mhm.
party's done, which that's the part that seemed fucking odd to me, but it
Yeah.
would make, I would like to go with the version of
Yeah.
Rob
I mean,
and
well,
his wife said
it's,
that,
whatever. They have lots of money and a lot of people know who they are, but they're just fucking people. So, I
Right.
mean, they're acting like any other people. Right.
Right. Yeah, it would. I don't know. It's just the whole thing's fucked up. But I guess it would make a lot more sense. That would be, God. I almost said the word comforting, but I think it would. It would almost be more comforting if, rather than having just Conan O'Brien or anyone be like, don't call the cops, man.
Yeah. Right.
Stay cool. Don't call the popo. Stay cool. But yeah, I don't mean to laugh about it. But I mean, Jesus Christ, it's it's a fucked up mess, you know. And I mean,
It is.
all of it makes a little bit more sense. I mean, I didn't hear that that they took him along, or that. I
Mhm.
mean, that makes more sense, because I
Sure.
didn't. It never made any sense to me. Like, how the fuck did he even get there?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's because I flipped through something, and I was trying to read an article, and I ended up with some YouTube clip of this, again, a podcaster through Sirius XM, whatever. I don't know who the guy was, but he was the one that was talking about, you know, why does Bill Hader's name have to be dragged into this type of thing?
Mhm.
But he had said that he goes, think about this. He goes, Rob Reiner dying is tragic enough. You
Mhm.
know, if he just would have died, you know, just Rob Reiner passed away. That's
Sure.
fucking bad enough. But then this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, God damn, that's so true. Because again, everything that he did and everything that he was, I mean, you know, people are getting older. You know, I mean, people
Right.
die. You know, people die.
Mhm.
It is what it is. But Jesus Christ, I mean, what a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
what a goddamn mess. So.
Yeah, right. You know, I mean, mental illness, you know, I mean, clearly, yeah, I know they keep referring to this guy as, you know, a drug addict and blah, 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 which clearly he was. But,
Right.
again, self-medicating, you know, yeah, he had mental problems. And, you know, I mean, we all know people who have gone through this stuff. I mean, I've got friends in the program who, you know, go to outside help and they take medications and stuff, and that's cool, man, you know. And they're doing what they need to do to keep themselves healthy for the people around them.
Right.
And if that includes getting extra help, and, you know, they're working the program, they're doing what they have to do on that side of it. And then, you know, they got little screwy things going on in their heads too. They take medications to get help for that. So, you know, that's all good. Yeah. But like you said, man, why this guy wasn't, you know, more supervised. But just my feeling, and again, speculation is, you know, you got a guy who's very powerful, and, you know, a director, right? What does the book say about directors? You know,
Right.
that
Yeah.
we right? I mean, that's the kind of person he was, and you know, so he's going to take care of it. He's going to handle it, and he had been for a long time. And just you know, ego, man, ego bites all of us in the ass.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire wrong. So then I'm doing IT, and when I go to plug the servers in, they become sentient, and they won't let us access our network unless we forward their chain emails and memes to more and more and more people, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant finds and invites best-fit candidates to apply, so you can discover talent you may have missed. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It is like you said too. It's like therapy. Therapy these days. It's it's not. I mean, even at the time that we got sober, which, you know, again, not that long ago. You know, 15 plus years ago.
Right.
But I'm not saying that therapy wasn't as accepted then, but
Mhm.
these days, you know,
Right.
if somebody says they, you know, I'm going to a therapist, it's like they're telling you they went to the grocery store. You know, it's
Yeah.
no big deal. Well, you were hungry, of
Mhm.
course you did. You know,
Right.
you got to go talk to somebody. Well, of course you did. You know, there's all these online things, and, you know, BetterHelp, and that's the one that's all advertised all over the place on all these podcasts, and, you know, all these things are available. And, you know, you and I talked about that one of the episodes, whenever the fuck it was. I mean, I've gone to couples counseling. I had to go to a counselor when I was going through my second divorce, because the custody thing with clearly my drinking that I was
Mhm.
trying to cover up.
Right.
And but, you know, the thing of it is, if I was to the point, or if I ever got to the point where I thought that, you know, therapy would, if I needed or felt that I needed
Mhm.
something to talk to somebody like that,
Mhm.
I wouldn't have in a fucking heartbeat. I would,
Sure.
you know, because I don't know if it's a matter of, you know, maybe it's because, number one, I don't think it's even society acceptance, because I don't give a flying fuck what everyone else out there
Right.
cares. That's the first thing I was going to say, maybe, and it's not. But I mean, these days it's more common, but that wouldn't be why I would do it. The
Mhm.
reason I would do it is because I've been made to feel comfortable. I think we have been made to feel comfortable
Mhm.
that that's not only a viable option, it's an intelligent option if
Mhm.
we need it. Um, by the people that we were, you know, that we've been affiliated with, associated with, raised
Sure.
by, guided by over the years.
Right.
That, you know, and if we got to take medication, you got to go to the doctor, you got to do whatever it
Mhm.
is. it's okay. You do that,
Right.
as an aside and, part of, or whatever your program is,
Absolutely. Right. Well, I mean, clearly we've been convinced that our way isn't working, and outside help is what we need, whatever that happens to be. I
Right.
mean, we walked into AA, man. You know, 3/4 of this shit, 9/10 of this shit, we didn't want to do. It didn't make sense to us. There's no fucking way I'm going to go do that. And but we did it, and our lives got better. So again, by example, like walking through the fear, we've learned by example that we need to be open to these things and realize that we don't have all the answers, and sometimes we need some outside help. Sometimes, most of the time, we need some outside help.
Right. Yeah. It's, I mean, and again, who even go back to something as simple as what we're doing right now. I mean, who knew that and I'll just say that we needed something like this. I think this has been an important part of our recovery. And, we did it for ourselves to begin with.
Right.
We found an opportunity in a way, to get together every week and shoot the shit. And again, whatever this is now and whatever it may be in the future, it kind of blows my mind. We're coming up on 4 years though. Did you?
Right. I know.
It's just that I just literally, I thought about that the other day because when we were talking to that Jeremy on, I mentioned, 3.5 coming up on 4 years. That was the first time that ever came out of my mouth, and in the back of my head while I'm talking, I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 1/4 of our sobriety now. We've been doing this thing. That's it's fucking mind blowing. But anyhow, so
yes.
So who knew that this could be, a benefit for us? Who knows if therapy could, whatever the case is. Like you said, I like the fact that you just said that, we've become comfortable that, knowing that, if we need help, it's there. And, going to outside people or outside whatever.
Right.
We've been convinced, I think you said.
Yeah, exactly. And again, even if it doesn't make sense to us, even if, we don't think, oh, well, I don't need, right. Again, early sobriety, look back, asshole. Early. So I don't need to do a fucking 4th step. What do you mean? Look at myself. The hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. God. Again. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe the only thing I can, the only other thing I could say about this is fucking understatement. I mean, it's a tragedy, and it just seems like I don't know. There's going to be. I would be surprised if there wasn't a lot of blame, thrown around. People just trying to point fingers and whatever. And I guess I mean not the blame part of it, but if nothing else, if everyone that was involved in this can take a look at their part, which is probably not nobody's going to do, and maybe tighten it up so it doesn't happen again, I think that's the best that can come of that.
Yep.
But it's the same thing with this whole. It just popped into my head. No idea how this came out. Well, probably the accountability thing. There was I think it was one of the doctors was just recently in the Matthew Perry thing, was just recently convicted or sentenced or whatever it was.
Right.
And, it just, I still, I have opinions on that whole thing. I 100% agree that, okay, so as a doctor, take Matthew Perry out of the fucking mix, or even take Rob Reiner out of the mix, or Nick Reiner or whoever it is. Doctors have a responsibility for, obviously there's certain oaths they take and, rules and laws and restrictions and all those things they got to abide by. It's the safety of the patient, number one,
right.
And making sure that they're doing their best, I believe, probably to help to get them better within their power, but when it comes to like these doctors of Matthew Perry, now, if they're prescribing, over prescribing or prescribing outside of the rules, I get all that, if that's why these doctors were arrested, sentenced, and all those sort of things. But I didn't like the fact in that one of the documentaries, I think Netflix did the one on it, where all they were doing was looking for somebody to fucking blame.
Right.
All these, for Matthew Perry's death. The bottom line was with him, it didn't matter if these 4 or 5 people weren't going to do anything for me, would have got it someplace else.
Yeah. Right.
I think we talked about that. Both of us are convinced that Matthew Perry would have fucking died one way or the other.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, clearly there were no rules and no laws and no that stopped us from doing anything. So,
Right.
right. Yeah. Of course, yeah, it's again, like society tries to blame drug dealers for the drug problem. Well, that's insane, right. Let's blame car manufacturers for air pollution. No, it's just, it's all nonsense. So try to place blame where it doesn't belong, trying to make somebody else responsible for your actions is really the bottom line. And if we've learned anything, that doesn't fucking work.
Right, and we've said that openly, that and we've said that in conversations that whatever the case is, not I know I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to
Right.
portray myself as a victim. I know you don't either.
Right.
What all the shit that happened. I mean, yes, there was other people involved in both of our lives. To get to the point that we got to, of whatever it is, but. There's no fucking way in the world I'm going to try to. Oh well, this person did this and this person did that.
Right? No,
the whole fucking enabling and the whatever. Yeah. No.
I did it. I did it, and that's and that's where the freedom comes from. It's all my fucking fault. No one else has dominion over me. Right. Just me. Everything good, bad, indifferent is my fucking fault.
Yep. I was just going to say, not just the bad stuff, because you made a very clear point that all the good stuff is your fault. All the bad stuff is your fault.
Yep.
all the stuff in the middle is your fucking fault.
Yeah.
And there's a goddamn freedom to that. So take some goddamn responsibility for yourselves, and you might feel better every once in a while.
Yes.
All right. So again, Rob Reiner. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. I mean, all that shit's gonna shake out. Whatever happens with Nick, it's a fucking tragedy. It is what it is. But I don't know, the fact that he was one of us, and I just thought would be, if nothing else, it's not that just because everyone else was talking about it. I mean, I had some thoughts and opinions.
Yeah,
and
me too.
All right. So there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Marty DeBerge.
Yes. All right. A couple other things that I came across. Have you ever watched the show Brockmire or heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Hank Azario?
Yeah. I watched the first, I think, 2.5 seasons. It started getting weird, and I kind of stepped away from it. But, God, that first season was fucking incredible.
Right. Okay. So, well, good. You know what? It's so fucking rare that this might wrap us up, because I got a lot of things to talk about with Brockmire.
Yes.
And I know it's a baseball show, because I was going to tell you, I'm like at some point you're going to need to get fucking Netflix, because all these good shows are on Netflix, because that was an AMC one, and then got pulled.
I mean, I watched it when it was, well, I think it was IFC.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, it was
same that
IFC.
did Marin. Yeah,
yep.
Independent Film Channel. Yeah, and because it definitely wasn't like network.
Right.
No, and I forget, but I watched it pretty much when it was going on. I think I had Showbox, or there was like an app at one point which they took away from us, but it was free and it was great. It was movies and TV shows, and yeah, this is like probably 7-8 years ago, maybe even 9 when it was on. I mean, it's an old show. It was on a long time ago.
Yeah, and keep talking. I'm losing your audio.
Really?
Yeah. Are you good?
It's all good, and the little lines are coming through on my thing, so it's all good on my end.
Yeah, you're like you're kind of like. Can you hear me clearly or no?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Yeah, you're coming like bubbled out, kind of like the underwater type of bubbled out.
Yeah. That's your end.
What?
That's on your end, because my little soundbar lines are just fine, and I hear you just fine.
No. I know. I mean, I can see your lines too. I don't know which side it's coming from. I'm not trying to cast blame on it. I'm just trying to figure out where it's coming from. Give me one more second here.
All right. Blah blah blah. Brockmire.
Yeah, I can't hear a word you're saying.
Wow.
Hang on one more second here. I'm just trying to figure out if there's. You still there?
I'm still right here.
Yeah, see, I'm still getting it. I can't think of. I'm trying to think of what I could.
Well, I think I lost you now. I know I did, because your little sound line is totally dead. So, I am going to
You're
grab
still
my
there, though, right?
phone and
Yep. No, I think you're gone. Okay, I am going
and we'll call
to.
Bill. Whoop, there you're back.
Oh, and you're back too. Okay, we're good.
Hey, you were gone.
Yeah, you were too. Yeah, it was total silence. So there was a like I said, I wasn't trying to blame. I mean,
Right.
I could see the same thing. I'm seeing
Right.
the audio lines on both, but in the thing
Did
of it is,
yours keep going? Because it went dead on my end.
oh yeah, I mean,
You went
again,
totally flat.
well, and that's the thing that it's going even if the recording's not on and either one of us are talking, well, at least on my end, even if we're not recording, my lines will come up. You know, so it'll get on there anyhow. So, but it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter what. It just the thing of it is though is that what I'm guessing is that your full conversation is going to be on the recording because of how this does. I just couldn't hear you. So,
okay.
Let's just step back. So the Brockmire thing you started watching.
Brockmire.
We got to the point. So we got to the point IFC, and I said it's a baseball show, and then that's where I lost you. So kind of recap that couple of minutes of whatever that was.
No, I watched it when it was on. It was on like 8-9 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, you know, but I had some app that was free and let me watch stuff. Of course, that went away because you know. But yeah. So I watched the first couple of seasons, and like I said, I think into the third season it started getting really weird, and I was like, all right, well, I'm done with this. But yeah, the first season was fantastic.
Yeah, and you know, I watched it, and it came on Netflix, and I mean, I've always liked Hank Azaria to begin with, and you know, he's sober also,
right?
You know, which that was the only. Oh, I'll get back to that. But so let's say if it was, and I can't remember, it might have been 4 seasons. So like you said, like by the third season started getting weird. I agree with you. The fourth season it like jumped ahead by like 20 years. He's got a daughter, you know, from this, you know, the hookup some years ago and blah, blah, blah. And then it got really fucking weird. I watched like 2-3 episodes into that, 2 episodes maybe. I'm like, I can't stand this anymore.
Right.
But yeah, the first episode, well, then on top of it, Amanda Peet, I love her.
Yeah, she's kind of cute.
She's fucking lovely. Yes. But yeah, the whole thing, the only thing, and what made me think about it, I had it written down, but I forgot I wrote it down. But when you said how TV and movies do when you're talking about that movie, talk about, you know, us and the program and stuff like that, it blew my mind sometimes how. I think they could have done a better job about they were making Alcoholics Anonymous and they were making it really cliche. All the cliches, even more cliche than they're actually. And part of it, I'm just like, God damn it, he's an AA guy. Couldn't he have stood up and be like, no, can we at least say it this way? You know, sort of thing. But I don't know. Did you catch on to the same thing? Because that went through the entire show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I certainly didn't. I was watching it for him being out of control. You know, that's when it was good.
Right.
Right. I mean, you know, again, very few Hollywood version of recovery generally doesn't get it right. You know, I thought Maron's show did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been a long time. Since I watched that, but I agree. I remember thinking the same thing, but it has been a while since I watched that. But yeah, there was, and then the other one that got it good was the dude that from Office Space that show. Cause
yeah, which I've never seen. I know what you're talking about though. Shit, what the hell is it? It starts with a B, right?
Yeah, something like that. But it's his name, you know. But that's the name.
Right.
That show they did pretty well, I think. But yeah, if you ever get around it, I know that's one that would kind of be on your list to watch. That was a good one. But I mean, I agree though that I mean, Brockmire that first season, even into the second one, him, like you said, just having him out of control. But on top of that too, I'm like, I knew you'd enjoy that, but I also knew just being the baseball sort of thing. I'm like, this is one that if you haven't watched this, I'm like, you got to watch this fucking show. So
I definitely did that one.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that because literally, just as so many times that these things come up, I'm like, fuck, man, you'd really enjoy that show. But yeah, he was a trip. He was a fucking trip. I mean, the whole thing was a trip.
Yep. Yeah. No. Once again, I'm watching reruns of Emergency, so you know.
Yeah, but I did. Yeah. Obviously, again, Amanda Peet, he was good, and it's so funny too that every once in a while, when he was talking, I hear Chief Wiggum,
Yeah.
in his, because I mean, that's one of his, Simpsons characters, and I mean,
Mhm.
all these different ones that he did. And it just, I don't know, it was almost like I'd look away for a second, he'd say something, I'm like, oh my God, it's fucking Chief Wiggum,
Right.
because so many of these people, well, I mean, who am I thinking of? Seth, who's a Family Guy.
MacFarlane.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and just listening to him every once in a while,
Mhm.
Just his normal voice,
Right.
you can
You'll hear Peter.
Oh God, yeah, just
right.
yeah. Which, well, that's good. I mean, it makes me happy. I'm glad that you watched. I'm glad that you watched Brockmire.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a good one, like you said. At least the first couple of seasons. But
Yep.
hang on one second here. There was one other one. Oh, you know what? This is one that, and first of all, I know we've talked about this before, but I just thought it was, again, came across my mind. So, the idea or the topic of comparing ourselves to others, specifically like when we first got sober,
Mhm.
and clearly I know we've talked about it, but I don't know if it came across, more than likely when I was listening to a podcast or something like that. But I thought that, even though we've talked about it, it's probably been a while, but also if there's anyone new listening to us, so I don't know your opinion about what's the whole concept about that, comparing ourselves either to people. How do we deal with that? What's the whole comparing ourselves type of thing?
Well, I mean, there's two sides of it, as always. Right. I mean, there's a phrase in AA, comparing yourself out of the room.
Right.
I wasn't that bad, or, or I was far worse than, can scoot your ass right out of the room. I didn't get that bad. I wasn't that bad. I'm not that bad, or I'm far worse than that. And so there's no way that this is going to work for me, because, I'm way too far gone. That's the bad, comparing yourself to others.
Right.
Right. Which is a very dangerous and stupid thing to do.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, thank you. Right. But the other side of it is comparing yourself to others. Am I, finding the people, you want what they have, do what they do.
Right.
Am I living up to what these other people are doing? Am I living up to the way this thing is supposed to work? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Comparing yourself that way, I think, is healthy. And I try to do it. Look at that guy. He's happy. He's healthy. The people around him are happy and healthy. Shit, I should probably, am I living up to it? Compare yourself to that. Please do. Yeah. So, there's two ways to look at it. There's the bad and the good, as with everything.
Right.
And, learn it. Learn how to, don't compare yourself out of the room, but, compare yourself to stay in the room. How about that?
The Subaru Share the Love event is on from November 20th to January 2nd. For 18 years, Subaru and its retailers have supported over 2,700 local charities through the Share the Love event. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
Do you think, I mean, this time around, I mean, once again, you've been open that you've been around this thing a couple of times before.
Right.
Do you think that this time you compared yourself at all to others? Because, I shouldn't assume, but I'm thinking that maybe you did at one point, or.
Oh, sure. Before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And generally in the way that, naturally we do. I'm not that bad.
Right.
And actually in the other way too, I'm fucking way worse than that. Yeah, shit. Of course he's doing this sobriety thing. He was never as bad as I am. So of course it's easy for him.
Right.
Yeah, I know I did. And again, this time, no, I didn't look for the similarities, not the differences. And again, yes, compare yourself to the people that are doing well and doing this thing properly. And yeah, absolutely compare yourself to them.
Right. And the thing of it is that I know for a fact, but I heard it pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when, but I remember it was. I know it was pretty early in this whole thing. Once I got to the Keating Center,
Mm-hmm.
about not comparing yourself.
Right.
But I know to begin with I did. I mean, because
Sure.
when you think of it just on the surface, I mean, I had the audacity to
Mm.
just look, physically and be like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
not one of these people,
Sure.
That was number one, which I mean, just because put a pig in a suit. That was my dad's favorite saying. What do you get when you put a pig in a suit? It's just get a nicely dressed pig. That's all you
Yep.
get.
Mhm.
But then and on top of that, I'm like, well, all these people use drugs, and
Mhm.
I didn't do any of that.
Of course.
But you know what? And I can't remember anyone specifically saying it, but I know what happened. People said it the other way around. Like, you don't understand. You've got it easy because all you were was a boozer.
Mhm.
And I'm like, the whole idea was, okay, so I was just killing myself slower. That's all
Right.
it was.
Mhm.
Was it, again? I mean, we know these things now, and I truly believe that if I would have found drugs and the right amount of
Mhm.
drugs and the right
Mhm.
drugs, that
Sure.
I would have been dead, because if I had the same mentality, which I don't know
Yeah.
why I wouldn't have, and
You do.
yeah, with it, and I would if I would have used the same way that I drank, then
Uh-huh.
I mean, just do the math. I would
Yeah.
have died years ago,
Mhm.
I think.
Right.
But the other thing that I remember hearing, and maybe this is what I heard to begin with, was, stick around long enough and you will hear your story.
Mhm.
And I don't remember when it happened, but of course I did.
Right. Of course.
And the first time, and then the second time, and then many times you hear
Mhm.
these bits and pieces, and that's why I like. I think that's a big part of why I like listening to sobriety podcasts. And you
Mhm.
know what? I am sometimes more interested in listening to women's stories than men. I know what us
Mhm.
fucking guys do.
Right.
I've lived it.
Right.
For the most part, this guy might have done a little bit more over here, like you. You did
Yeah.
all the drugs, 4
Mhm.
times as many as whatever. You did everything,
Right.
and you had a rock and roll lifestyle. I know where your path was, so
Uh-huh.
far different than what I did. But I mean, in a general sense, you and I were the same, just kind of,
Mhm.
in different colors.
Yeah, exactly.
But listening to some of these fucking chicks, I mean, the women that we know, the women that we're friends
Uh-huh.
with, hearing their stories,
Right.
and it just, I'm the same. It's one of two things. Either I'm like Jesus Christ, or I'm like, God damn, they're just like us,
Mhm.
And it's a natural grounder, just realizing. I don't know why. Maybe that's what it is. It's just a natural grounder, realizing that it's just the confirmation that everyone's the same. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Gender, background, it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
But the biggest thing is that, yeah, sooner or later, in if anyone out it listens to us, and that was another question I had. But if I don't know if anyone listens to us that's like really fucking new, or even people that are kind of like on the bubble, that are maybe are just looking at getting sober and stumbled
Mhm.
across our podcast.
Right.
If just out of, I mean, sheer curiosity, if somebody's listening to us and you have not yet committed to sobriety yet, I mean, more power to you for listening to this fucking garbage. If you're not, I mean, if you're not even trying to get sober yet, or even thinking about it. If you're sober curious and you're trying to listen to us,
Mhm.
Jesus, I mean, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah. Or you're welcome.
Or maybe you're welcome. But seriously, I would be interested. I know that normies listen to us, but they're usually friends of
Mhm.
ours,
Right.
But I would be interested to know if somebody that is either on that bubble or about to get sober, or wants to get sober, just curious,
Mhm.
if you want to reach out to us, let us know. It's just morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, if anyone is out there, and if you're new-ish and you haven't heard your story yet, honest to God, just listen to more podcasts. If you don't
Yeah.
go to meetings, that's fine. Have more conversations. You will hear your story,
Mhm.
and it's a fucking life changer,
Yeah.
because it's one thing walking into a room, or if you do online Zoom meetings and you see,
Mhm.
54 other people in there, like, Jesus Christ, where all these goddamn drug addicts and alcoholics come from? It's like the first time we walked into, Keating Men's, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's
Yeah.
100 people here. And then we walk
Yeah.
into West Park and there's 300 people.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm like, I didn't even know there were this many alcoholics in the world. I did, but
Uh-huh.
so yeah, stick around. You'll hear your story.
You will.
But yeah, that's interesting. I like the fact of, again, looking for, I mean, I know about the looking for the similarities, but I like the way you put that as far as, yes, when you see somebody doing the things that you think you might want, well, you do want, you just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but absolutely compare yourself.
Yep.
Even today, I mean, there, we can look at people, we
Mm-hmm.
can look at our sponsors, we can look at that, the old timers that, or
Yeah.
who do you know, or any of the meetings that we go to.
Right.
And am I like that? Do I carry myself that way? I hope I do,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. I mean, it's just the comparing in a good way rather than a bad way. I like that. So anyhow, but yeah, that covered kind of two things because I did that. I don't know where I wrote or where I came up with that. Again, probably another podcast where they were talking about it was a podcast, I think, where they knew that they had a lot of people that would listen, because they've heard the stories, where people are like, oh, I listened to you when I was trying to get sober and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, God, would anyone listen to this shit? I couldn't imagine, for me sitting around with a, fucking, I don't know, a beer or glass of goddamn whiskey listening to this fucking nonsense. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we're funny enough where,
Yeah. Funny how.
Exactly. Well, on that note, Mike, what do you think? Do you feel like we're done?
I believe we are done.
All right.
Right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to yet another episode of Sober Not Mature. So always be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out and do something nice for somebody else this week, and don't tell anybody you did it. Now, from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time until the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. Now it's time, kids. Oh boy, it's time. It's time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying, you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.
Once again, I like when it's that time. It is that time. And just last thing real quick, and I just wrote this down because I wanted to tell you, I'm pretty sure, 90% sure I'm going to give up my Harley plates. Wisconsin is coming. Do you remember, you've done plenty of traveling over the years. Yeah. Do you remember when Wisconsin, I'm not getting these plates. The first thing I'm going to talk about, not getting these. Do you remember when Wisconsin had that really they were like fucking gold plates? Yeah. They were gold with like black lettering or red lettering. They had two different kinds. Yeah. They were just really fucking weird. So they're bringing back those. And they're designing a blackout plate. So just black with white lettering.
You know what? Ohio's getting those too, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to get them, I think.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Well, and here's the thing, and I had the reason I went with the Harley plates. First, I like the look of them. That's number one. I pay $125 a year for the plates because I'm paying for personalized plus. Right. $25 goes to the Share the Road campaign, which I've known plenty of people over the years that ride, and it's a good cause, and I had no issue with that ever doing it. But the other thought was, I'm like, at some point, I'm probably going to get a bike. It'd be cool. I wanted to get a bike. I'm kind of at that realization now where I'm probably never going to get a bike.
Right.
I just don't think it'd be a good idea because my knees are so fucked anyhow.
Right.
I don't think it'd be a good idea for me to be. I think I'd be fine, but until I wasn't. So I don't want to do that. But so same type of thing. It'd probably be the same price, maybe a little bit less, but they're going to do it for, it's roadway repairs and improvements and whatever. So it has a point and a purpose. Right. But I'm like, that'd be kind of, because I know Illinois has them like, I think they're Cubs plates, which, and they're black. And I saw Wisconsin has another black plate. I just saw them today, out of, there's some other symbol on them. Wisconsin has probably 75 different. It's fucking ridiculous, but I mean, just a straight blackout plate. They're available, I think, after the first of the year. Yeah. So I'm going to take a look and see, and then I'll get. There's no reason in the world why I shouldn't be able to get my. I mean, who's going to have the GL38 thing?
Right.
And, just give up the Harley and go with the blackout plate. I think it'd be. I think they look cool too. So
yeah. I believe Ohio's getting them after the first of the year as well. And I'm looking into them myself. So, hey, pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, Ohio plates. You said that you're not a real fan of.
Nah.
I know the sunburst ones. I was never a fan.
Oh, those
of
are awful.
Yeah, and then even the ones that you have in your car now, I got
Yeah.
those. That was the second personalized plate I got because they came out with that for just some random thing. They're like, oh, let's get new plates again.
Yeah.
So I got those because I didn't like the sunburst ones. So, but yeah, black. I think blackout plates would be. I might have to buy a black car. Fuck, Jesus. No, I'm not going to. It'll look fine on my gray car. It'll be all good.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, man. On that note,
Yes.
I love you, brother.
Love you too.
And I believe we'll talk soon.
We shall.
Bye.
Next year.
Oh yeah, and by the way, just as a quick side note, we do. Oh no, we don't have a guest. No, next week it's us again. Jesus Christ, never mind. It's us again.
Yep.
Yes, next year for the wow. Woo. Anyhow, yes. Next, see you next year, man. Bye.
Bye. And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.